She appeared in every photo I took. My great-aunt Alara's estate had been empty for 50 years. That's what they told me, anyway. So, who is this? My great-aunt was a total recluse. I'd never met her, never even seen a picture. Turns out I was her last living relative, and the lawyer said she'd left everything to me. The house, the grounds, all of it. It was a place completely lost to time, a crumbling Gothic manor, drowning in a sea of overgrown woods, miles from the nearest town. When I first got there, I was enchanted. As a photographer, I'm drawn to decay, to the beauty in things falling apart. The place was a mausoleum of forgotten elegance. I brought my old SLR camera, the one that belonged to my dad. I just prefer film, the grain, the light leaks, the way it captures a moment not just as it was, but as it felt. There's a weight to a physical photograph that a digital file just doesn't have. I decided I'd document the house, room by room, and capture its slow, silent collapse. I started in the grand entryway, where the floor was a mosaic of cracked marble and dirt. The first shot was of that long central hallway. I remember the silence was so oppressive. The only sound was the satisfying clack of the shutter echoing through the space. I didn't think anything of it. I spent the rest of the day just exploring, the house groaning around me with every step. It wasn't until that evening, in a makeshift dark room I'd set up in a dusty bathroom, that I saw her. Section 1, the first anomaly. Developing that first photo of the hallway. My heart just stopped. I tried to tell myself it was nothing. A trick of the light, a lens flare. You know how your brain is wired to see faces in clouds and patterns? I figured it was just that. I almost threw the print away, but I couldn't. Curiosity, I guess. Or maybe something else. A knot of unease I just couldn't shake. The next day, I went to the library. The air was thick with the smell of decomposing paper and dust. It smelled like forgotten stories. I took 3 or 4 shots, trying to frame the chaos, the beauty of the ruin. I was meticulous about it. I made sure I was alone, even locking the heavy oak doors behind me. The sound of that bolt sliding home was deafening. That night, I developed the new roll of film. My hands were shaking. I held the wet print up to the dim red light of the darkroom, and there she was, in every single frame. In one, she was partially hidden by a fallen tapestry. In another, she was just a silhouette in a darkened alcove. But this one, this was the clearest yet. She was standing between the shelves, her form still blurry, but undeniably human. A woman. Her head was tilted slightly. And even though I couldn't see her face, I felt it. I felt her gaze locked right on the lens. A cold dread spread through me. The kind that starts in your stomach and crawls up your spine. This wasn't a trick of the light. She was there. Section 2. Escalation. I became obsessed. For the next week, all I did was take pictures. I must have gone through a dozen rolls of film. The grand ballroom with its shattered chandelier. The servants' quarters, all cold and sparse. The master bedroom with a 4-poster bed, shrouded in what looked like funeral silks. With every click of the shutter, my dread grew. Because with every new photo, she was closer. The change was gradual. In the ballroom shots, she was by the far windows, like a ghost against the dying light. In the kitchen, she was at the other end of a long, decaying banquet table. But now, you could make out more details. The dress looked Victorian, heavy, like it was made of dark velvet. Her hair was pulled back tight. But her face was always a blur, just a pale, smudged oval. And her eyes. I couldn't see them, but I knew. I knew they were staring at me. They followed me from room to room, photo to photo. I started talking to myself, trying to rationalize it. It's a chemical burn on the film, I'd whisper, my voice all hoarse in the suffocating silence of the house. a developing error. But I knew that wasn't true. The anomaly was too consistent, too intentional. It wasn't a glitch, it was a presence. I stopped sleeping. The house felt different. Before, it was just old and empty. Now it felt occupied. I'd hear things, a floorboard creaking upstairs, a faint whisper that sounded like the rustle of a heavy dress. I started feeling like I was the intruder, like I was trespassing in her space. My project to document the house's decay had become something else entirely. I wasn't documenting the house anymore. I was documenting her, and it felt like she was documenting me right back. Section 3, the investigation. This was the photo that broke me. She wasn't just a background element anymore. She was in the room with me. That hand, it was so clear, so detailed. It looked solid, real. But her face was still a vortex of shadow. I had to know who she was. I tore the house apart, not with my camera, but with my bare hands, searching for journals, letters, anything. In a damp, moldy chest up in the attic, I found an old photo album. The leather was warped and the pages were stuck together. Most of the pictures were of landscapes, of the house in its prime. But near the back, there was a section of portraits, stern-looking men and women from a time long past. And then I found it. A single, loose daguerreotype. It was a portrait of a young woman, taken sometime in the late 1800s. She had severe dark hair and was wearing a high-collared velvet dress. It was her. But in this photo, her face was perfectly clear. She wasn't beautiful. Her features were sharp and angular, and her eyes, they held a look of profound, chilling malice. Her name was etched on the back. Annalise. Talked about Annalise. A distant cousin talked about Annalise, a distant cousin who had lived in the house. It said she was obsessed with her own image, but hated being looked at. The letter described her as having a horrifying gaze that made people feel like they were being undressed to the soul. It said she died in the house under mysterious circumstances, and that her spirit was possessive. The last line read, "She wants to be seen, but only on her own terms. Do not let her see you." A chill that had nothing to do with the cold of the house washed over me. Do not let her see you. But I had. I'd been looking right at her for weeks. With every click of my camera, I was showing her that I could see her. I was inviting her closer. So what do? Every instinct I have is screaming at me to run. Just leave this place and never look back. Burn the photos. Burn the camera. Burn the whole damn house down. But there's this other part of me, the photographer, that has to take one more. I have to see what happens. What would you do? Seriously, tell me in the comments, because I have to take one more picture, and I think something is about to happen. Climax. I'm going to take one last picture. I feel like I have to. It's not just curiosity anymore. It's a pull, an addiction. I have to see her face. I have to know what she wants. I decided on a self-portrait, and I'm doing it in the most unsettling room in the house, the master bedroom. There's this huge, gilt-framed mirror hanging over a dusty vanity. The mirror is ancient. Its silvering is cracked and spotted with black decay. Like a disease. It barely reflects a thing. I set up the SLR on a tripod, pointing it right at the mirror. I'll be in the shot, and if she's really tied to me, to my gaze, then she'll be there, too. My heart is a frantic drum against my ribs. The air is ice cold. I can feel her in the room, heavy and suffocating. It's a feeling of pure malevolence. I set the camera's timer, 10 seconds. I sit at the vanity, my back to the camera, and stare into that tarnished mirror. My own reflection is just a murky, distorted version of me. I wait. The first click of the timer is like an explosion in the silence. Click, 9. I can almost hear that rustling sound of her dress right behind me. Click, 8. My breath catches in my throat. I don't want to look, but I can't look away. Click. 7. In the dark spots of the mirror, I think I see movement. Click. 6. 5. It's not my imagination. A shadow is detaching itself from the deeper shadows behind me. Click. 4. It's her. She's emerging. Her shape is clearer than it's ever been. Click. 3. I can see her shoulder in the mirror, right behind mine. She is so close. Click. 2. She leans forward. Her blurred, pale face appears next to my own reflection. It's like a hole in reality, a static void. Click. 1. A whisper, like dry leaves skittering across pavement, slithers directly into my ear. It's one word. Mine. The shutter fires. The flash is a silent supernova, bleaching the world white for a split second. Conclusion. I developed the final photo. I don't understand. She's not in the photo with me. She's me. She's looking out of my eyes. When I look in the mirror now, I see her. When I look at my hands, I see her pale, long fingers. She's not in the background anymore. She's in the foreground. I picked up the camera again. I went to take another picture, but I couldn't. I couldn't press the shutter because a photo shows you what's really there, and I'm terrified to see who or what is holding the camera now.